This is the senior project video for the Automated Medication Dispensing Unit for the Grand Valley State University Interprofessional Simulation Center. Currently, the Simulation Center uses these stand-up carts where the student will enter in the passcode to unlock the drawers that have preloaded medications put in by faculty. They can then remove their medication, close up the drawer, and then type in the code to relock the drawer.
In industry, hospitals use a system called a Pyxis, which can cost upwards of $80,000 on top of subscription fees. This cost is prohibitive for many institutions, which is where this project attempts to bridge the educational gap for nursing students with a simulated Pyxis experience.
Here's the CAD model of our proposed solution, and then here's the final build, which will be located in the simulation center for nursing students to practice using a Pyxis machine.
So this is our main subsystem for the PCB and Raspberry Pi. The PCB has all of our connections to all of our solenoids, so we're able to eject those, and we're communicating over a STM32 and a Raspberry Pi via UART. So we're able to communicate between our GUI and operating all of our hardware within the system between using that PCB and that Pi as the communication.
This design contains two different types of drawers. In a standard drawer, the 3D printed dividers can be altered by the user to suit any footprint they desire in order to fit any new medications. In the controlled substance drawer, each printed compartment is separate from the rest and enclosed in order to mimic the security of a real Pyxis for controlled substances. These compartments have push-to-open lids.
Here's the locking solenoid, which interfaces with the bracket on the back of the drawer. It locks and unlocks. Here's the ejection solenoid, which ejects the drawer out when prompted by the user. Here's an interior view of the enclosure, which shows the ejection solenoids from the other side and the circular bracket, which holds the limit switch, which verifies with the program that the drawer is closed.
This is the wasting system located on the side of our simulated Pyxis. It has two different valves, one on the left side for solid waste and one on the right side for liquid waste. And then on the inside of the waste management system, there are Pepsi bottles that are screwed into the top with 3D printed caps, and then there's a lock on the outside that can be locked and unlocked by faculty to dispose of any wasted material. So as shown here on the left side, pills can be wasted through the left valve, and shown here, any syringe of liquid medication can be pushed down the graded side on the right side of the wasting management system. Here is what the top of the machine looks like. It includes a barcode scanner for scanning medications, a monitor in order to interface with the user, and a keyboard to enter in any entries. Also on top of the machine is a fingerprint scanner, which starts as red, and upon pressing, it turns green once the fingerprint is accepted. So in order to dispense a medication for a patient, you first must log in with the student username, click sign in, and then you'll be prompted for a fingerprint scan. It'll start as red, and then once you press down, it'll turn green once the fingerprint's been accepted. Then you'll click on My Patients, select the patient you want to dispense for, click on the medication you want, click Add Medication to Dispense. It'll populate on the right, and do this for any medication you want to add. Once you have all of your medications selected, you'll click Dispense Medications. You'll confirm on this screen and click Start Dispense. It'll open up the first drawer. This is our controlled substance drawer, so you have to confirm the quantity that's in the compartment before you're able to dispense. If that is accepted, you can then open up the drawer, take out your medication. You will then scan it on the barcode scanner to verify that the correct medication was pulled, and then you will be prompted to close the drawer, and then your next drawer will open for your next medication. Same process, you'll take it out of the compartment that it tells you it's in, scan it on the barcode scanner, and then once it says it's verified, you'll be prompted to close the drawer again. In order to waste a medication, you'll need to log in, and then click Waste on the bottom right-hand corner. You'll select your patient you're wasting medication, click the medication you're looking to waste, enter in the quantity, and you'll need a witness to verify that the medication was wasted. So for liquids, it'll go in the graded side of that waste management system on the side of the machine, and then you'll have a witness put in their credentials, click Witness Verify. It'll then prompt for the witness to scan their fingerprint, and then the waste is now successfully done.
So this is our faculty login sign-on. So here you'll be able to enter the faculty as the username. Then from there, it'll prompt you for a password to log in as faculty. And then it'll be the same fingerprint scan. And from there, you'll be able to boot into the system with full faculty admin privileges. So from the home screen, signed in as faculty, you can go to the medication list. From there, you'll be able to add new medications or edit medications. You can see those 5 different details. You can enter the name, the dosage, what compartment you want to put that medication in, the quantity, and the QR code, which doesn't have to be typed in. You can just clear that field and then scan the QR code here that's on that vial or the medication you're trying to add. Then you can press the add new button, and then it'll pop up text underneath saying that that medication has been successfully added to the system. You can also select any one of those medications on the left side, which will let you edit any information on that medication, and then you can press save edits to update that medication. So then from there, you can press the restock button under your faculty sign-on. You'll be able to select a medication from any medication that's in the system or loaded into it. You can see the dosage, and then you can enter the quantity to restock, and it'll tell you the drawer. You'll press that open drawer button. From there, you can enter your medications, and then on that screen, it'll prompt you to close the drawer before anything else can be done. Once that drawer is closed, you'll see a restock complete button pop up, and you can just press OK, and then you'll be finished restocking. Then again, while only signed in underneath faculty, you're able to do a patient creation. So you can press that tab at the bottom of the screen. It'll pop open a screen to add in the name, the room, their date of birth, and a patient ID for that patient. So you can fill out all of those text fields with the proper information, and then you'll also be able to add medications to that patient that you're creating. So for that medication list, you'll just see that drop down underneath there, and from that drop down, you're able to select any medication that is currently loaded within the system. And then after you select whatever medication you want to add to that patient, you can type in the dosage of it and the quantity that is supposed to be dispensed for that patient. And then after typing in those, you'll press add patient medication, and you'll see that pop up in that medication list for the patient. And then from there, you can just press save patient, and you will have successfully added a new patient to the system. Faculty permissions also gives you the option to edit any patient that you've already created within the system. So you're able to add or delete medications from them. If you want to add, you can just select any medication that's currently loaded into the system. And then once you select any medication from there, you'll be able to enter the dosage and the quantity that you want to be dispensed for that patient. And then after entering those fields, you can press the add medication button, and you'll see it pop up in that field box beneath showing all the medications that are assigned to that patient. And then at the end of that, you can just press save patient changes, and your patient will be updated with all the newly added medications. The last screen available to the faculty sign-on is the Reports tab. From there are 3 different tabs. There is the Current Inventory tab that shows you every medication, the quantity that's in the system, where it's at, and the barcode to that medication. You can also go to the dispensing history to see what medication was dispensed, how many, and what time that was dispensed. And the last tab is the wasting history, so you can see what medication was wasted for every single patient and what time that was wasted. So next we're going to talk about some obstacles that we faced during the project. The first one to mention is the connectors on the PCB. We ran into a problem where the manufacturer kept telling us that the connectors would fit each other, and we had to order probably 3 to 4 different connectors before we were actually able to find connectors that would latch and fit our needs for the project. So that was an obstacle to overcome to ensure that all of our wires would stay connected for a long-term solution.
An issue we encountered when manufacturing the enclosure were the mitered corners initially chosen for the design. They proved to be too difficult to manufacture, so the design was swapped to use butt joints instead.
Another issue that we encountered during the manufacturing of the machine was that we originally planned for a 1/16 of an inch spacing between the drawers, which led to rubbing between the drawers when opening and closing them. This problem was easily overcome by shaving off another 1/16 of an inch on every drawer.
The next obstacle we faced was just data corruption on the Pi. The card that we used was just not reliable on power off, so we switched to a different source to boot from, and that solved our data corruption issues.
Some of the highlights of this project include the smoothness of the epoxy finish and the logo on the side of the machine, which was printed as a vinyl logo, and the smoothness of the drawers opening.
This has been the project video for the Automated Medication Dispensing Unit, Senior Project 2026.